Hello everyone, welcome back to another video from Relative Security. It's the second episode in the National Cybersecurity Strategies series that we are doing. The first country that we are going to cover is United Arab Emirates. It's basically a collection of, or it is formed from a federation of 7 emirates. It has Abu Dhabi, that's the capital, Ajman, Dubai, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, and one more, Al Quwain, I believe. We are going to talk about the United Arab Emirates, which is very rich in oil and natural gas reserves. I think it has world's sixth or seventh largest, I think. And then it has the most diversified economy within the GCC. And I think one more thing would be that it's very huge in when you talk about the tourism. Well, along with that, it's a technological hub, 26th best nation for doing business, and 31st in the Global Innovation Index. And the last point is the most diversified economy in the Middle Eastern and North African region. They have pretty much done a lot in the digital transformation because government has implemented several initiatives and policies to promote the adoption of digital technologies across various sectors. It includes education, healthcare, transportation, finance, and whatnot. They have different initiatives in the name of, for example, one of them is Smart Dubai 2021 strategy. The government also aims to go paperless, and most of it has already been done. They have a very high penetration in regards to internet. They are already working on different projects related to artificial intelligence and very huge in innovation hubs and developing their own digital skills. Uh, Few projects such as blockchain, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things, they are really working on that. Another their technological vision was to make UAE a knowledge-based economy by promoting innovation, research and development, and adoption of advanced technologies, which they are doing pretty good. So they have also been investing heavily in the infrastructure to support their digital transformation, including building advanced data centers, expanding broadband, 5G networks, and then smart city solutions and the implementation of those smart city solutions. Also, in addition to that, they have also launched several programs to promote entrepreneurship, innovation, such as Dubai Future Accelerators and Abu Dhabi Global Market Innovation Center. So this is just few glimpses of their journey into digital transformation. We will move forward into how they have designed their own cybersecurity strategy. So it was launched back in 2019 and it focuses on 5 main pillars, which we are going to discuss. And the strategy aims to protect the UAE's digital assets, scale the country's critical infrastructure, and build a resilient cybersecurity ecosystem. It also includes initiatives such as establishing a National Cybersecurity Council and comprehensive legal framework for cybersecurity, promoting awareness, education programs, and building cybersecurity capabilities. Along with that, enhancing international cooperation in the cybersecurity as well. The way they have designed this document is that at the start they talk about the rationale why they want to have this cybersecurity strategy, which includes overview of the current cybersecurity landscape. They talk about different types of cyber attacks and their impact on the various sectors. It highlights the need for a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy to address these challenges effectively. Then comes the vision. It's a one-line vision, what they want to achieve, the ideal state of cybersecurity infrastructure, and gives basically a direction for the overall strategy. To expand on that vision, that what exactly that one line statement means or what they want to achieve, they have described it further in the form of aspirations. So this section would further elaborate on the specific aspirations or the objectives that the cybersecurity strategy aims to achieve. It may include goals such as enhancing cyber resilience, protecting critical infrastructure, promoting public private partnerships, but we will discuss all those aspirations in a bit. Then, those aspirations and the vision to achieve that, they have categorized them in different strategic pillars. These strategic pillars are more of like strategic areas or focus areas of the cybersecurity strategy. Each pillar would represent a broad category of different initiatives or actions that would contribute to the overall cybersecurity objective or the aspirations that have already been discussed. Then those categories further have around 60 initiatives. These are the actual specific actions or the projects or the programs that will be undertaken to implement the strategy and to implement the strategic pillars, and it will have the objectives, timelines, what are kind of resources will be required, these kind of things. So the first thing is the rationale. It's pretty straightforward. It includes the number of cyber incidents. Since the number of cyber incidents are ranging from minor security breaches to large scale data breaches, and the number of incidents are increasing day by day with the digital transformation, your attack surface and your exposure to the cyber adversaries is expanding day by day. Eventually, and it's very natural that when the exposure is great, the cyber incidents are bound to increase over the time period. When the cyber incidents are increasing, it disrupts services by causing system outages, data loss, or any unauthorized access to the sensitive information. So, depending on the nature and the severity of the incident, services may be temporarily or permanently unavailable, leading to customer dissatisfaction, loss of productivity, or financial implications. So, this is the impact of services. Then, it's not that just the services are unavailable, it's the reputational damage, which is more of a concern for the larger or smaller businesses. It can significantly impact on the organization's reputation, particularly if the customer's data is compromised or any sensitive information is exposed. So, this kind of loss of trust from the customers and stakeholders can result in a long term reputational damage, which will lead to a decline in the customer loyalty, decreased business opportunities, and difficulty attracting new customers. And then the financial loss, of course. It can have substantial financial implications for organizations, for businesses. While the costs associated with responding to and recovering from cyber incidents can include expenses such as incident investigation, remediation, legal fees, public relations, customer notifications, and possibly potential regulatory fines as well. So these are the bases on which they are giving a giving a rationale. They have developed a rationale that due to these circumstances, it is very important that we have a national cybersecurity strategy where we ensure that the business environment and the overall services that the government is providing, they need to be secure. Let's see how do they cover it in their vision. So this is the one-line statement vision that the national cybersecurity strategy of the UAE is create safe and resilient cyber infrastructure in the UAE that enables citizens to fulfill their aspirations and empower businesses to thrive. So we'll just talk about it a little bit more that, for example, this vision talks about safety and resilience. The focus is on creating safe and resilient cyber infrastructure, which shows that the critical systems and data are being protected and they are being considered important, that they must be saved from or protected from the cyber threats to ensure that the business continues and it is reliable. Another thing is it's a citizen centric approach because safe and resilient cyber infrastructure will enable citizens to fulfill their aspirations. So, this statement recognizes that the significance of ensuring individuals can navigate the digital landscape securely and confidently. Second portion of this statement is that it wants to empower the businesses to thrive. So it acknowledges that the role of business in their digital economy is very much instrumental, and they want to empower them and want to protect them to promote innovation, growth, and economic prosperity. Few things that I see that they could have added or is missing is the stakeholder involvement. I mean, they have mentioned the citizens and businesses already, but that could further highlight that the importance of collaboration between various stakeholders, such as government agencies, academia, and international partners. If that could have been added into the vision statement, that could have been a much better vision towards it. Let's see how they have, because since they have divided their cybersecurity strategy in a vision and then aspirations and then strategic areas as well. Let's see if these things are covered in the aspirations, which I'm pretty sure they will cover it. Let's move to the aspirations statements. These are the aspirations that have been given in their strategy: provide confidence to citizens to securely participate in the digital world, celebrate contributions to innovation in cybersecurity, foster a culture of entrepreneurship in cybersecurity, enable SMEs to safeguard themselves against common cyber attacks, protect critical information infrastructure assets of the country, and enable or build a world-class cybersecurity force in the UAE. So these statements demonstrate a proactive approach to cybersecurity in the UAE with an emphasis on citizen confidence, innovation, entrepreneurship, SME support, critical infrastructure protection, and workforce development. So they reflect a comprehensive strategy to address the evolving cyber threats and create a secure digital environment, but we'll go one by one and discuss each one of them. For example, they provide confidence to citizens to securely participate in the digital world. Well, this statement highlights that the confidence of all the citizens or the people who are living in the UAE, or at least because it's just not the citizens who are participating in this digital world, since it's becoming a global village with the digital services being provided by the governments and the businesses within the UAE. It's just not the citizens who are going to interact with that. It could be your people, tourism, since the tourism industry is quite good. People who are actually applying for the visa, it's an online service. They are interacting with the digital services. The people who are working over there, they are not necessarily citizens. They are having this residential status. They are on daily basis interacting with the digital services provided by the governments, provided by the other businesses. That should have been mentioned over here as well. If, let's say, if I were to write it, it could be providing confidence to the stakeholders to securely participate in the digital world. It could be stakeholders, it could be businesses, because business to business transactions, business to government transactions, they are all going to be covered within this. However, this statement highlights that the recognition and the appreciation of the sorry, this reflects the importance of building trust and ensuring the security of citizens' digital interactions. Well, as we discussed before, it does emphasize on the citizens' digital interaction. It could have been the stakeholders' digital interaction, because it emphasizes the need for a robust cybersecurity measures to protect individuals' privacy, sensitive information, and online activities. The second one is celebrate contributions to innovation in cybersecurity. This statement highlights the recognition and appreciation of advancements and innovative solutions in the field of cybersecurity. So the second and third line, they are more of interlinked with each other because celebrating contributions to innovation in cybersecurity and foster a culture of entrepreneurship in cybersecurity. Basically, both of these statements are um, encouraging businesses, individuals, and relevant stakeholders to contribute in the in this cybersecurity ecosystem of the UAE in the form of innovation and bringing in new products, cybersecurity products, new projects in the form of ensuring that the services are secured, any kind of thing. So basically, the objective or the aim is to encourage and support the growth of cybersecurity entrepreneurship and secure ecosystem innovation in the UAE, and recognizes that the potential economic and technological benefits would promote an environment that nurtures startups, innovation, and other initiatives. The fourth point is enable SMEs to safeguard themselves against most common cyber attacks. So this is like not only for SMEs, it could be for every entity that is present inside the UAE. They need to safeguard themselves because small or big, it doesn't matter to the cyber adversary. They are just looking for a one loophole and they are going to target to bring the entire system down. So it has more to do with the promoting a cyber security culture within the UAE that everyone must be aware of, just not the SMEs. Everyone, including the individuals, organizations, small or big, governments, all of them coming together and promoting cybersecurity culture and awareness in their environment. Then is the protecting critical information infrastructure assets of the country. Very important, and it has a great significance because safeguarding critical information infrastructure such as government systems, utilities, financial institutions, and communication networks, like it's a very it underscores like the need for a robust protection to ensure the continuity, security, and resilience of essential services. Because if there is not underlying infrastructure that is being protected or that is protected, the services that are going to be provided to the stakeholders, it's not going to be safe. Last is build a world-class cybersecurity force. One thing is, this one is like, it doesn't talk about just the citizens. If we will see in other cybersecurity strategies that they talk about educating their own citizens. But this does not talk about UAE, doesn't talk about educating its own citizens alone. It talks about um, ensuring that at any given moment, UAE has a world-class cybersecurity workforce, be it from anywhere from the world, that can play their significant role in protecting the cyberspace of UAE. Now we will move towards the strategic areas. The five strategic pillars that UAE cybersecurity talks about is cybersecurity laws and regulations, vibrant security ecosystem, National Cyber Incident Response Plan, Critical Information Infrastructure Protection Program, and partnerships. Now, if you see in the aspirations, there was no mention of any governance system. I mean, good governance should have been mentioned over there also, I believe. For example, the overall strategy did not talk about in the aspirations of the risk management approach, risk-based approach also. We didn't see anything about good governance. And let's see how these things get covered in the 5 pillars. The first one is the cybersecurity laws and regulations. So what is assumed is that it will address all types of cyber crimes. They will secure existing and emerging technologies through the relevant laws and regulations and support the protection of SMEs. Second point is the vibrant security ecosystem. Support the startups, promote R&D in cybersecurity, develop security capabilities, drive citizens' cybersecurity awareness, and encourage excellence in the cybersecurity. These all 4 points come under the vibrant cybersecurity ecosystems. Then they have the National Cybersecurity and Cyber Incident Response Plan. Talks about more how to respond to the incidents. There should be a one single point of contact. Any entity that gets compromised should contact that point, and they will, from overall, they will ensure that the relevant mobilization plan is initiated, how the information is being shared across all agencies, public or private. Then a separate, the good thing is they have a separate critical information infrastructure protection program where they are identifying critical assets in the UAE and then ensuring that the world-class risk management standards are in place. And then last is the partnerships. So these are the 5 strategic pillars under which they will have further 60, I think, yeah, 60 initiatives which will come together and ensure that the vision that they have gets implemented or gets achieved. Now, I will move towards the actual cybersecurity strategy document that I reviewed before preparing this presentation, and we will see that how these strategic pillars and their relevant initiatives are interconnected. I will also leave the link to that particular document from where I downloaded that and reviewed it in the description. You can have a look over it also. It's a publicly available document. So this is the document, National Cybersecurity Strategy document. Let's go through it. First is the rationale for the cybersecurity strategy, the number of incidents increased overall, their impact, then their vision to create a safe and resilient infrastructure, then their strategic pillars. This is the one that we discussed last. Now we will deep dive into each strategic pillar. For example, the first one was the cybersecurity laws and regulations. So what they want to achieve under this is the aspiration is to create legal framework to address all types of cyber crimes and then build a regulatory framework that will secure existing and emerging technologies. So how are they exactly going to do it is that they will have laws, for example, substantive laws, procedural laws, and data protection and privacy laws. Substantive laws are those that are, for example, so it is the set of laws that governs how the members of the society, individuals, are to behave. So the opposite or is the procedural laws, which is like the set of procedures for ensuring and administering or enforcing the above mentioned substantive laws. The substantive laws are rights and responsibilities, and what happens if somebody does a crime, what are the punishments that will be done or given to the individuals. The procedural law is like by which a court hears and determines what happens in any civil lawsuit, criminal, or other administrative proceedings. So these are like designed to ensure a fair and consistent application of the due process or fundamental justice. Data protection and privacy laws are to ensure that the businesses, organizations, or anybody who is holding the data of the individuals of the citizens, of relevant stakeholders. They ensure that they have implemented necessarily technical controls, and all the due diligence has been applied to ensure that the data remains safe. Second is supporting protection of SMEs in the UAE. So the aspiration is that they must be given pro guidelines to protect against common cyber threats, offer them incentives to implement those recommended guidelines. It's just not that the government is just providing them the guidelines that these are the best practices, but offer them incentives that if you do these, you will be supported in one way or the other, or they will be like maybe have more chances to win the government projects, these kind of things. Establish support systems to enable SMEs to implement those guidelines. So these are the aspirations. How are those going to be done? They will be developing essential cybersecurity standards and mandate that the cybersecurity implementation of certification of for government suppliers. This is what we just discussed, that ensure that anybody who wants to do business with the governments or want to become a government supplier or contractor, they need to ensure that the necessary cybersecurity standards or the guidelines, the best practices that have been given, they are implemented in their organizations. It could be related to ISO 27001, it could be NIST, any framework, any other, but some kind of base level cybersecurity standards will be provided and it must be implemented. The second pillar was vibrant cybersecurity ecosystem. Under this strategic pillar, what they want to do is to enable the ecosystem to capture the huge cybersecurity opportunity, because it's a very big economy. Dubai, UAE, Abu Dhabi, these are like 7 Emirates, and these aspirations to have a big economy or the ecosystem will be achieved by ensuring that the business, culture, and the services, they are easily available. Ease of doing the business is there. Demand and supply is over there for the relevant businesses. Along with that, innovation and technology is being adopted, and the overall mindset and the culture is developed to ensure that the business is secure, government services are secure, individuals can trust the governments for their data, and the business can go as usual. Another thing is that, for example, they have given a target that they will have to develop capabilities of around 40,000 plus cybersecurity professionals. Aspirations are to encourage professionals and students to pursue career in cybersecurity, then develop cybersecurity skills and capabilities to meet the demands of the cybersecurity market that has been developed, and then ensure that there are enough training providers within the country who can meet the demand of those students or the professionals who want to learn new technologies. Then ensure that the citizens are aware of the cybersecurity, of the importance, and the way they are trying to achieve this is, or the way they want to achieve is, the good approach is that they will start from the children, ensuring that, because I mean, this is a good thing in a way that even the children are interacting with your mobile apps, your different screens. So they need to be aware of these cyber security concerns. They need to be aware of these existing cyber threats and what can happen if they do not comply or they do not consider the importance of cyber hygiene. So they will do this education awareness sessions from children's, college students, professionals, homemakers, and until the citizens. I mean, everybody will be included. Then it's just not that they are providing you the best practices guides, they're providing you the trainings, and they forget about it. No, they ensure that there is a rewarding program, national awards program, where they encourage organizations to drive their own internal cybersecurity programs. They inspire other entrepreneurs to innovate within the cybersecurity and support any research that is being done in the academic institutions and motivate other students to pursue or to become cybersecurity professionals. So they have devised this national awards program for entities and shining individuals as well. Third is the National Cybersecurity Incident Response Plan. In this, they want to establish a robust national incident response plan to enable swift and coordinated response to the cyber incidents occurring in the UAE. So the aspiration is to streamline the cybersecurity incident detection, reporting, standardized severity assessment metrics, and building world-class capabilities to respond to all types of cyber incidents. So the initiatives would be, as we discussed before, there would be what the plan is to ensure that there is a single point of contact in the entire UAE. If there is any incident, that single point of contact is available 24 by 7 to address the concerns or to coordinate the incident and the response to that. How they want to do is to ensure that there's an active monitoring of the cyber threats. It could be combined SOC um, at the government level, or it could be SOCs to ensure or mandate SOC for each business entity. I mean, it doesn't talk about the approach, but there are various ways how can they ensure the active monitoring. Then advisories towards the relevant government agencies, to business, to public and private entities, to make them aware of the relevant threats and relevant risks to their sectors or the businesses. Another initiative is related to the intelligence sharing, threat intelligence sharing, and any other risks that are involved that should be shared with the business depending on the um, severity and priority of that particular information. Then there's the critical infrastructure protection program. There are 9 critical sectors that have been identified. It's energy, information and communication technology, government, electricity, water, finance, insurance, emergency services, health services, transportation, and food and agriculture. So first thing is, the way they want to achieve this is, or the initiatives that are associated with this aspiration is to identify those critical sectors, assets, and their associated risks. Now, this is where they will do the risk assessment for each of that particular critical sector. And by identifying those critical assets and risks, they will then devise the relevant solution or the risk management approach. Ensure that the world-class risk management standards are available and implemented through processes, robust processes for any kind of reporting or the compliance to the regulatory requirements. Moving onwards, using these critical assets, there is this governance thing also, but before that, we move towards the partnerships. They talk about that the partnership would become a core enabler to achieve the cybersecurity goals and ambitions. In this, they identify that there would be partnerships with the public sector, private sector, academia, and the international consortiums as well. Doesn't talk about the nature of those partnerships. What kind of would it be like? There would be threat intelligence sharing, or would there be like standards sharing, research? But the approach or the direction is that they are open to partnerships to ensure their own cybersecurity goals and ambitions are achieved. The last one is the governance. Similar approach as we discussed in the one before. The critical sectors are identified. the national incident response. Two vehicles for that are the strategic decisions and the enabling the intelligence sharing. There will be two units. One would be the National Incident Response Committee. The other would be Cybersecurity Intelligence Unit that will be responsible for sharing the intelligence sharing between the international and national stakeholders. The first one would be the National Incident Response, which we have discussed before. Under that, if there is any incident, there should be a single point of contact. They would be responsible for ensuring the response. They would be responsible for ensuring that they have the relevant expertise, or at least they can engage those relevant expertise to respond to those cyber threats. So this was pretty much all about the cybersecurity strategy. This is just one last slide. That TRA, that which is the telecommunication regulatory authority in the UAE, they will monitor the progress and the impact of this national cybersecurity strategy through KPIs that they have defined. There are two strategic and 17 operationals. They will be developing, they will be ensuring that they are doing the necessary coordination among all the agencies that are included in the implementation of this strategy. They will collect the data. They will ensure that all the reports are available about how the progress to implement this cybersecurity strategy is. So this brings end to our review of the cybersecurity strategy of the UAE. Overall, it talks about a vision where it talks about the protection of the citizens and businesses. We discussed that how if they could, instead of citizens, it could have been individuals or relevant stakeholders. Discussion about the business is important, but stakeholders could be any, for example, the government agencies, individuals. These kind of things are important. Secondly, within the vision, the risk-based approach was missing. Governance was discussed and under the strategic pillars and in the within the initiatives. Then they have the aspirations, and to achieve those aspirations, they have strategic pillars and initiatives. I hope this session was helpful in regards to understanding how UAE is taking a national approach towards the cybersecurity strategy. Don't forget to like and share this video. Coming soon with another video of another country that's also within the Middle East region. Thank you so much.